What is going on, everyone? It's Carl from Newcastle Fans TV, and we're back with some positive news. Callum Wilson has signed for Newcastle United for £20 million. Now, I'm absolutely over the moon with this signing. It seems that we've been able to get the deal done so far without having to offload Matt Ritchie. So it can only be positive for me. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. We will have a look into what Steve Bruce thinks about the signing, what Callum Wilson has said himself with regards to the move to Newcastle, and having a quick look at his goal scoring record throughout the Premier League and the Championship as well. So just to kick off the show, or the video rather, we will have a look at what Steve Bruce has said about the signing of Callum Wilson. He seems to be really happy with it, and it seems that, you know, from potential media sources previously, that he was top of Steve Bruce's list, which is always positive news to go and get your number one priority in the transfer window. So he had this to say: Callum is somebody that I've admired for a long time, and I'm delighted to get him. He's done fantastically well at Bournemouth and was deservedly playing centre forward for England less than 2 years ago. The club has worked ever so hard to get Callum here, and we've beaten off competition from a number of clubs. We know that Aston Villa, being one of them, had a bid reportedly of around £21 million accepted. So the fact that we've still been able to get this done shows the willingness from all parties to have this as the most beneficial transfer for both clubs and Callum Wilson himself. He then went on to say that he's grateful that the club has made it happen, and that Lee Charnley and those behind the scenes deserve a lot of credit. Now, I smile with that because I, like 90% of Newcastle fans, probably will not be familiar with giving Lee Charnley credit. That being said, we need a goal scorer. We only had a budget of £30 to £35 million. There were talks of offloading one of our most senior and influential players, I would say, in the club, in Matt Ritchie, to get this done. So if all reports are correct that this is a cash deal for £20 million, then I really do tip my hat to Lee Charnley, and I hate that I'm saying that. So don't bash me too much in the comments. But at the end of the day, we're holding on to Matt Ritchie, potentially. We're getting a proven Premier League goal scorer in Callum Wilson. He's only 28 years old, so he's just coming into his prime. He's been at a club that have been in a similar stance to us in terms of, you know, fighting relegation and mid-table sort of club. The only difference being they haven't really had the players, in my opinion, to benefit someone of Callum Wilson's talent. We'll move on to that, but what Callum Wilson had to say about the transfer was also obviously very positive. He said that from the minute that I knew that Newcastle were interested, it was definitely something that appealed to me. It's a massive club with great history, and along the years they've had some great strikers. So if I can emulate half of what they've done, I'd like to attempt that. I believe in my ability as a player, as a striker. I think it's important to set yourself goals long-term and short-term, and I'm hoping to achieve them. He then went on to say, with the players around me, I believe we can get the goals we need as a team, and I want to help contribute to that. Now, that's the most important part for me, that last statement within the kind of interview. He hasn't had the kind of talent that we've got at Newcastle United. Bournemouth have never really been renowned for having those attacking players like the likes of Ben Arthur and you know, now Alan Saint-Maximin and Almiron, those players that really drive at goal. And the benefit for that is that Callum Wilson isn't necessarily a back to goal striker. He is someone that will be looking with the goal in front of him, looking to play the way he's facing. He'll be looking to get on the end of long balls from the likes of John Joe Shelvey, driving into the box to get crosses from the likes of Maximin and Almiron. And I don't think the three strikers that we've got on board in Andy Carroll, Joe Linton and Dwight Gale got as many goals between them than Callum Wilson got last season. He did only get 8 goals, but it's 8 goals more than what we had from strikers. So it can only be positive. Obviously, he's had some really successful seasons, which allowed him to gain those England call-ups. And I'm really excited to have him at the club, and I think he's going to flourish personally. Now, the reports are that his contract is up until summer 2024, so it is a long-term deal. He has committed essentially the majority of the rest of his future to the club, so hopefully he can kick on and be successful. Moving on to his actual goal-scoring records. I won't break it down in terms of the goals he was scoring individually at Bournemouth and Coventry. I'll just do it as a whole. So in terms of Premier League goals, he's had 126 appearances with 41 goals, which isn't a bad return. It's not amazing, but it's better than what we have at the moment. And 16 assists as well. So he does like to get assists. He does like to bring other people into play. But as I said, he's not necessarily someone that will hold the ball up. He's a very pacey, very technical, skillful striker who does know where the net is, providing he gets the right service. I expect to see him getting on the end of so many long balls from John Joe Shelvin. I think John Joe with Callum Wilson, will be a great partnership, and I think John Joe's going to have one of his better seasons as well. League One goals, 48 appearances and 22 goals with 6 assists. Championship, 46 appearances with 20 goals and 13 assists. So yeah, he gets goals in the 245 appearances he's had. He's scored 91 goals with 39 assists. I personally think that's a good return, and especially in this market, in this day and age, in terms of paying £20 million. It's not like back in the day when you're going to go and get yourself an Alan Shearer for £15 million. You're not going to go and get yourself a Michael Owen in his prime for a nominal fee. This is the kind of level that we're at, and I think Callum Wilson can be a great addition to the squad. I do hope that we can hold on to Matt Ritchie now. Obviously, I'll be interested to see us getting Fraser over the line potentially, to see how he will link up with the squad as well. And obviously, there's still talks of the Jamal Lewis deal, which will all be covered in future videos from the likes of Lee and Matt. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you happy with the sign-in? Are you going to be able to give Lee Charlie credit for the sign-in, or do you think we've wasted money? I personally think it's a start of what is it's going to be a good bit of business for the transfer window. This is where we're at the moment. We haven't got millions and millions behind us. We need to strengthen in those areas. Hopefully, he can bring a bit more out of Joe Linton, and hopefully Dwight Gale can get back quickly as well, because I'd like to see Dwight Gale and Callum Wilson play together. But yeah, again, let me know in the comments what you think. It's been your boy Carl from Newcastle Fans TV. See you in the next one.